Hello and welcome back to Grumpy's Kitchen and Provisions. I'm Grumpy again. So today I wanted to show you how to make a quick broccoli and cheddar soup so you can survive on your onesie without any canned products, canned soups. So let's get to it. Let me show you just how easy it is. So we're going to start a pan on a medium heat, 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to say another tablespoon or 2 of oil. Just want the butter to melt. So now I already have all my mise en place, so I'm going to add, so I'm not adding onion to this, but you could if you wanted onion, a half an onion. So I'm going to add 2 stalks of celery, and that is medium dice. This is 2 carrots, medium dice. And then I'm going to show you a quick trick to help utilize more product and to infuse a little more flavor. So in this bowl I have 2 heads of broccoli that I've just cut off of the florets off of the whole head of broccoli. So on your stems, so I just cut off a little bit of the bottom, and then you can take your stems and cut them up like so. You want them small enough so because they are a little more fibrous, so just cut them about the same size as your other medium dice. And then we're going to throw those stems in, because this soup, we're not adding the broccoli till the very end. So this stuff is going to go in there and saute around just like your onions and your celery, just to soften them up a little bit. But this is going to infuse more flavor and more bulk to the soup with those broccoli stems. So give that a quick saute. Again, we just want a minute, 2 minutes to soften them up a little bit. So literally it's just a few ingredients. So again, two celery medium dice, 2 carrots medium dice, a half an onion if you wanted to go with onion. Again, I left it out. Then I have 3 cloves of garlic chopped, about a tablespoon. So if you did have garlic instead, you know, throw that in. But as I've said before, fresh garlic is always going to be better, much more pungent flavor. So that's been going about a minute or so. I'm going to add my garlic. Okay, at this time, because it is going to be, it's kind of half broth and half milk, so it's going to be a cream-based soup. So we're going to add, so I added 2 tablespoons of butter and probably another tablespoon of flour. So I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of flour. So you want about the equal parts, just like I'm making a roux in here from the fat. So roux is equal parts fat and flour. So that fat can be butter, it can be lard, it can be oil, but that's what it is, equal parts. So now we're just going to cook this down a little bit to get the flour incorporated with the butter. Okay, as you can see, everything's kind of come together. The flour is mixed up with that. Now I'm going to add 2 cups of chicken stock, chicken broth, whatever you prefer. If you want to make your own, have at it. So now I'm going to add 2 cups of milk. thereabouts. Two cups of milk. Now we just want to bring this up to a light simmer, just a little bubble. It's going to take a couple of minutes. And then we're going to let that cook for probably 15 minutes to make sure we soften up all the vegetables. And since we added the flour with the butter, it is going to start to thicken up a little bit, and that's exactly what we want. At this point, we're going to add a tablespoon of Grumpy's Go-To. So again, this is really all you need for seasoning. So there's a half a tablespoon, there's another half a tablespoon. And then we'll check later on, see if we need to add a little more. We're going to start with 1 tablespoon. Okay, so our soup's coming up to a little bit of simmer. It's just starting to bubble. That's really what we want. We want to keep it there for about 15 minutes. We really just want to cook these vegetables down, get all the flavor out of those broccoli stems, and then your carrots and celery to soften them up and get all the flavor. So we'll let that go about 15 minutes and we'll be back. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. As you can see, we're just up to a little simmer. We do want to stir it occasionally, every minute or so. But you can see it's already starting to thicken up from the roux and just at a very low simmer. So that's what we're looking for. Okay, here we're back. It's been about 15 minutes. So as you can see, it is nice and creamy. The vegetables are cooked down very nicely. So at this point, now I'm going to add in my broccoli. I'm going to leave it at that just medium simmer. I don't want to hard boil it, cook it. And we're going to go about another 3 or 4 or 5 minutes till the broccoli becomes soft. And if I'm just being honest, I'm going to be serving this later on this afternoon. So I'm just going to let it sit. I'll probably cool it down and then reheat it later on. So I don't want to cook my broccoli all the way through. If you're going to cook it, be serving it right away, cook it, obviously take a piece of broccoli and try it. And if it is cooked through and hot, tender, then you're good to go. But we're gonna say about 5 minutes. And then we'll finish it off with our cheese and our green onions and fresh parsley. So we'll be back. Okay, so welcome back. Here we go. So it's been about 5-6 minutes. The broccoli is getting tender. At this point, I'm going to turn my heat down. I tasted it. And I decided I'm going to go in with about a half a teaspoon of Grumpy's Go-To. So again, this is a low sodium. It's not going to add any more salt to it. It is going to add some of the herbaceousness, if that's a thing. So if my English teacher, Miss Sama's out there, then maybe she can correct me. But a little herb flavor. So at this point, I'm going to take my fresh grated. This is a sharp yellow cheddar. We can go in with a handful and a little bit. We're going to stir that in. All right, looking good, good. So this is a tablespoon of fresh chopped parsley and 2 green onions that I just mixed together. So I'm going to put some of those in. And I'm going to reserve a little bit to garnish. And if you wanted this this is a rustic broccoli and cheddar soup. If you wanted a little more refined, you could take half of this out and put it in an immersion blender to kind of puree it all up and then dump it back in. but I like rustic. Grumpy is, there's nothing refined about grumpy. Most of my things are going to be very rustic. But again, you just made soup in under 30 minutes with just a little bit of planning when you go to the grocery store. That is delicious. So there we go. We're going to turn that off. I'll show you just how nice it is. Always wipe your edges, wipe your plates. If you get a plate at a restaurant that the edge isn't wiped, that's just sloppy. So there shouldn't be any call for that. So now we're going to add a little bit of cheese on there. A little garnish of your parsley and onion. And I don't know if you can see that, but that is hearty broccoli and cheddar soup from scratch. You made all on your onesie. So until next time, I'm Grumpy and grateful for you to continue to follow, like, share, and make sure you get some of these spices. It's not too late to get some before the holidays at our Etsy site at Grumpy's Provisions. So until next time, have a great day.